Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of RollPlay Solum. My name is JP McDaniel, joined by the rest of the cast, who you can see some of us have missing names because I guess I should say spoilers. If you're watching this on YouTube and you didn't watch Week 30, go watch Week 30. You could probably tell who's dead by now because three of us don't have nameplates right now, only Twitter tags, with Leia being the only remaining member of the original crew. Or at least of the prior crew. I think Victorian was the last member of the original crew, right? Yeah. I think that's what that was. So, but before we get into the action and figure out what everyone's playing and all that fun stuff, it's time to find out what everyone's been up to. Jeff, I heard you almost won a tournament over the weekend.
Yes.
Let me just start with that. Let's just start with that.
Been playing Warhammer Warhammer 40K since I gotta look over here now. My camera's over here. Since I was 12, so I've been playing for a long time, but I've been on a big hiatus. And for some of you guys, you've heard me talk about this, but it's actually like a year ago, coming up in November, I had my whole army redone. I'm playing Tyranids, of course. That's what you have to play if you're a ballerific. And in the 1 year, I've gotten quite a bit better. I played 2 or 3 times a week, and I went to a big tournament, and I was in the final table. I got the voice in my head again. It's like, Jeff, calm the fuck down. Okay, focus. You can do this. And then the first turn was horrific and terrible, and I was like, Jeff, you're going to get embarrassed. This is a shame. You're a fucking terrible scrub. And then my big barbed Herodal, which isn't going to make a lot of sense to a lot of people.
Nope.
But on 2d6, he needed an 11. He has no reroll. He made an 11-inch charge, and I was like, all right. And then it was close, but no dice, as they say. So yeah, I came really close, had a lot of fun. It was down in Fresno. Don't ever go to Fresno. It smells like cow shit. It's hot as hell. There's no reason to go there. Other than that, I played some Alien Isolation, which
you
is
like it?
I do, in the sense that like everything outside the game mechanics is fantastic. The sound, the graphics, the atmosphere, the alien, the characters, the story. It's written by Dan Abnett, by the way, speaking of Warhammer. Or no, that was the Shadows. That was the Mordor game. Anyways, it's a really good game in that way. But then as a launch, it's buggy. Mechanics-wise, it's extremely laborious. They're like, to get under this door, you must go get a fire torch. And
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of, at least what I watched, there's a lot of
and there's no like
missions.
boss guarding the fire torch or monsters or anything like that. It's just literally go find it, literally duck under a tube, and literally come back to the door. And it's that over and over again. And that's not my kind of game. People like puzzles, people like that kind of stuff. And they're not really puzzles, they're not thinkers, they're just like, check the map, go look over here.
Right.
So it's okay. It is scary, but I think it's too long for what it is too. It's like 10 to 20 hours, I guess, on either side of that spectrum.
I watched Lyric play, and it seemed like it just fucking would not end. Like it just kept dragging on and on and on for so long. I was really glad I haven't played it yet. So. Yeah,
it's disappointing. It's one of those things where it's like they did some things really damn right, and then they did some things pretty bad. And this wasn't a game that I was super pumped for, so I'm not that disappointed. I'm going to play it through and be done with it. But if people are like, finally, Alien done right, then they're going to be like happy for 10 hours, and at the end of that be like, fuck, this is not it.
I think that's what most people are saying. Are you excited for The Evil Within?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I was actually at PAX East PAX East, and I was able to play it. Well, no, not play it, but see it played. They didn't have a playable demo. And it looks like it's on the spectrum of Resident Evil 1 to Resident Evil 56, where it's just zombies with machine guns and berets. It's closer to 1, but there's
like
still
around
a lot
2-ish. It's around like 2-ish, yeah.
There's still going to be some third-person shooting going on, and a lot more action than being scared. But it's fucked up. It's great graphics, but really good mechanics. It's going to be a solid game.
Yeah.
So excited about that.
Yeah, I think that comes out next Tuesday. So, apart from that, anything else?
Well, yeah, just happy to announce to people we've been talking and narrowing down time for when we're going to do the other role play that we do. I have legitimately blanked on what we call it.
I'm not going to help you.
Let me see. I'm not even going to look at the chat. Hang on. Let me see how long this takes me. Oh, now it's one of those things where it's like I can't pee in public, like there's people looking at me.
RollPlay Saltstorm.
I thought you were actually going to help me.
I
was really excited. I can't remember. Swan Song. God damn, thank you.
There you go.
Oh, Swan Song.
Not old yet.
Of course.
Not too
I was
old
close.
yet. Anyways, we're talking about a date, so it's coming up, so people can be excited about that. Otherwise, I'm heading home to Portland to see Anna's family this weekend, and while I'm there, I'm going to eat copious amounts of Hawaiian barbecue, which I'm always excited about.
Nice. You always tweet pictures of that, so please continue
I will
to
again.
do so. Yeah. Please.
Oh, it's so good.
Please continue to do so.
Yes.
Cool. Ryan, what's been going on in your neck of the woods, man?
Pretty much regular stuff. I have nothing like exciting to report other than I've been streaming the usual games that I always do. And that's about it, man. Just been making this brand new character.
Yep.
Excited to play.
I think me, you, and Jeff kind of jumped on that all pretty quickly, actually. I felt like we were more excited than usual to make new characters this time around.
See, I get attached to my characters, but I also like new beginnings. So,
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
I also like when the character creation starts out with Neal saying, "Would you like to make a new overpowered character?" Then he goes, and then I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And then we do it, and then I roll well, and he's like, "Okay, give it some time, and your character will probably be broken." And I'm like, "All right, cool, we're back.
Yep.
Sounds good."
My dice rolls were, I'd say, well above average in the stats that matter for my character. So
yeah,
I'm happy with it.
we'll reveal those, I guess, as the characters are introduced. So
Indeed.
yeah, nothing else, Ryan. Just more same old, same old.
No, not at all.
Cool stuff. Jen, what's going on with you past week?
All right, just finished selecting spells. Hard work. What has happened? I'm leaving for New York tomorrow, so that's exciting. So I have been packing. I'm going to ESL 1, followed by New York Comic Con, so the hype is real. If anyone is at either of these events, feel free to tweet at me, and I'll come give you a hug, high five you, or whatever.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. Hey guys, get those tweets going.
saying.
Open-ended
Or
tweets, y'all. What? Anyways.
Not that, please. Not that.
But
You
The
won't
other
give him a
thing-
high five?
Yes.
Jesus.
High
Jen,
five.
what'd you think?
No
of that?
low fives.
Get your mind out of the gutter,
Only
Jen.
high
This is-
fives.
This is weird.
Anyways.
Besides that, we finally announced the announcement that I made. We're coming up with a blog tomorrow on rainbow6.com. And we've been working hard on that with my fellow comdev Chase. So it's coming up tomorrow. The hype is real. And that's pretty much it, really. Just prepping for all that jazz. Excited. It's our first communication with the public since E3, so that's really cool.
Nice. When is that?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay. Cool. Where can people check that out at? We got you and Neal, man, and Ryan. Too.
Rainbow6.com.
There you go. Rainbow six spelled out, or the number.
The number.
There you go. You got to be specific. Got to be. You probably own both. I would assume you guys probably own both URLs though. Anyways, last but not least, Neal, what's been going on with you, man?
Oh my god. Does anyone other than Jeff realize that planning a wedding is actually really difficult and time-consuming and stressful? I thought it was kind of like one of those cliches, like, oh, whatever.
Neal, as
Just
someone
call a
who's
couple
been
people
divorced 4 times now and planned 4 weddings, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough. So
Weddings are not fun. People.
Well, they suck for the only reason that the bride and the groom go to the weddings is so they can get gifts and money from everyone else for putting on this terrible fucking fiasco that they've had to deal with.
And you
no,
have to.
I genuinely want to see all my friends and family and extended family members and have them be there for this. I
But it's
genuinely
not
do.
all your friends and family, Neal. It's not. There's people that won't make the trip, and then there's going to be tension there. There's not all your friends. Some people are like, well, that's
Yeah.
too far, or I wasn't invited.
And then
It's
you've
too
got
small of a
family
wedding.
drama that you haven't even
See,
thought about
you're
yet.
making
Friends that
him
you
hate
don't
this more,
invite,
though.
Neal, that then fucking hate you afterwards.
Yep.
Because they're like, well, if I'm
Yep.
not invited, then fuck that guy. Fuck him seriously. You wait.
Yep.
Neil, you know what's gonna happen if you don't.
Then you're like, well, I guess we can fit 30 more people, but then you find out it costs $5,000 more for everyone because it costs, $45 a plate, and then there's parking. Never
Yeah.
mind, go ahead. You're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be great. Go ahead.
it's
Happy
kinda nice because
anniversary. Or
The
something.
venue is pretty far away from everything, and also the actual room where the ceremony is going to be is really kind of small, so we can only fit so many people. And like it's gonna have to be a smaller reception. We had like a list of 200-ish people that we wanted to invite. We're gonna have to like cut it down to 100 or less. So half our friends can't even make it because all the family comes in. So 3/4 of my friends are not going to get invited, which sucks. But other than that, it'll be fun, and I'm excited. But it's just, oh my god, there's so much shit to do.
Hey, Barbara, are you going to Neil's having a wedding? You're not. You weren't invited? Too small of a venue? Oh, well, that's weird. I'm bringing 4 of my family members, and they told us to bring a +1.
Yep.
Really? They told only you could go, not your husband, because they don't like him. Well, it'll be interesting. Is alcohol being served? Of course there is. Let's get fucked up. Let's make it embarrassing. There you go.
There you go.
So Jeff's character hasn't been ready yet. He's just gonna watch this episode and not actually play.
Oh,
You see a
man.
small crippled child walk out with a pair of crutches.
Timmy
Already
comes out
though.
from South Park.
Jeff's new character, he has a 1 in strength. He's a fighter. He has a -8 to hit.
He already
Yeah.
has a sword in his chest, and if it moves at all, it just pokes his heart.
Yeah,
out.
he's already at
man.
-9 HP, and he desperately needs to be bandaged.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I'm a little bit underprepared for today. I've just finished giving Jeff his spells. I hope all your spells are now up. I'll give you a link to your character sheet, your spell sheet.
You actually didn't give me the spells, by the way.
Oh, fine. Then I'm giving it to you now. Where's you? Where are
Let's
you? Here you
also keep somewhat secret here.
Oh, yeah,
don't
you just
tell
spoiled
him.
that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just spoiled.
Yeah,
it
I'm
for
sorry.
everyone.
Well, as I said, I'm a little bit stressed and frazzled, and my mind's not all concentrated. I'm ready for the session. I didn't mean to give out spoilers, but everything's good.
anyway,
I'm happy.
That was
Whoever
the
it is,
tease.
guys. It could have been anybody that he says he's giving spells to.
Yeah, he
My
didn't
name-
say Jeff. He might have
JP starts
said
with a J.
Jerian.
Jerian.
Jerian?
Julia,
Yeah.
Jen.
Well, that's my character
Jen?
name. Thanks for spoiling,
Yep.
Jerian.
Shit, I gave away.
So what we didn't say is that JP's new character's name is Jeff.
That's
So-
actually gonna
Right.
make some. Yeah,
Right.
we should actually do that before we just name our
Angel's
characters.
twin brother, man.
I could actually just name my character Jeff right now. It hasn't been
I
revealed.
named
I'm
mine
gonna-
JP.
Yeah.
And Ryan's gonna be Neil with an.
Yeah, that
I.
would have been great revenge.
Yeah.
And then Ryan's name, Ryan's name would be Jen.
Nope. Ryan's name would actually be Neil.
Yeah.
I think that would be more of a
with an
mind
I.
N-E-I-L is
Yeah.
my name.
Fuck
my
you
character's-
guys. Oh my god, I hate you all so much
That's
right now,
next
and
season.
we haven't even played yet.
There you go. There you go.
Well, my
Well,
character is
Us this
already
season, so
created.
next season we just challenge him, and we have like the most complex characters ever.
well, before we get into the actual thing, we talked about this, I think, or at least I announced it towards the very, 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 very end of last session. But now it's actually been like fully announced. All the details are out there. On the 24th of October, we're going to be role playing for charity. The charity in question is Extra Life, or not in question, but that we'll be role playing for is extra-life.org. If you watch streams or anything like that around this time every year, people usually do like 24-hour streams. And we're not doing 24 hours, but we're doing 9 hours, which is going to be 3-3-hour campaigns. You can find all the information over on my subreddit. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'll actually be putting up a video probably by the time this VOD is up on YouTube. So you could just look for that. And I'll
Someone
have all
just
the
donated
information.
$500 to mine, by the way.
Nice.
Are you
Fucking
serious?
Baller. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
Stevens is almost done. He's almost got everything.
Have you promoted it?
He
at all, or
started
they
too
just did it?
early, though.
Well, no. Hold on. Let's talk about that. Here's what: if you want to keep a secret, don't tell Steven. That's the gist of it.
I
Like,
just started promoting mine, Ryan, to answer your question.
Okay.
yeah, I think he tweeted it once, but
Edward Juarez, if you're out there, you're an actual soldier of good fortune and good things.
so
Thank
what
you.
does that get you? What does that get you for your character?
Oh, that's actually worth mentioning. At $500, which I didn't think anyone would do, my character will inexplicably challenge the closest person to a duel, and if they refuse, kill them anyways.
Nice.
So I think I just have to start off the game challenging someone to a duel.
Sounds great.
I think you're gonna have to kill off a party member right off the bat.
And while we're on the subject real quick, since you're giving me a little bit of a pedestal to stand on,
Sure.
I like mine. $10, my character will proposition something or someone for sex. $25, my
pretty
character
good.
will slap the nearest person. $50, my character will immediately get drunk. He'll just start acting drunk. He's just drunk. $100, my character will become incredibly paranoid. This scales with each donation. $200, my character's gender will change magically to the opposite of the one it is. $250, my character will take off all of her clothes and begin to dance. And then
Nice.
$500, I'll challenge someone to death.
Nice. I like Ryan's for $1,337.
Hold on. Let
Can
me
you
say it
tell
at
me?
the end. Don't say it yet.
Can you tell me what that is, Ryan?
This is going to be my closing shout out. So like,
Okay, here we go.
'cause I was, yeah,
We'll
okay.
do this, and then we'll close it out. Or then we'll start the show. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, like at the end of the show. I was
Oh,
gonna
at
do
the
it.
end of the show.
That
Yeah,
much
like-
suspense? Come on, man.
Okay,
That's
fine.
4
I'll
hours
do
of
it now.
suspense, man. Do it now.
All right. Yeah, my final, like my total goal is $1,337.
Wow.
And when I get to the end, my character will get a perk called Undroppable. My character has his ultimate wish come true. Any weapon my character wields is neither breakable nor droppable, not even when I roll a 1 and then another one and then another.
Ryan, this is the same problem Neil has when he does his marathons.
I like that one. That one's good.
Yeah, it's
man.
nice. But maybe you're droppable, right? Like the weapon can't be, but your face drops and then something on your body breaks. Like,
Maybe. But my
But
weapon.
the weapon.
But the weapon-
Someone gives me $5,000, I turn into a dragon and eat everyone. I don't know. Like,
Exactly.
Except you can't eat them because as soon as you try and eat them and drop them onto the ground below, they use their stupid paladin ability and don't take any damage from the falling.
Boom.
ooh, by the way, I have to correct something. It was Eric Whitman. Edward donated 25, which is thank you. But Eric Whitman donated 500. So
There you go.
He's a hero. So,
Cool.
enough about me. Thank you guys.
Cool. Yeah, all of that information is over at reddit.com/r/itmeJP. Or I don't think I can give you like I don't think there's like an extra life.org/roleplay. But if you go and look for the Dungeons and Dragons group, I think there's like 400 or 500 people in that group. But we're all in there, and all of the
500,
links.
Did you say?
I think there's a lot of people in it. Yeah. 'Cause
Wow.
it's open to the public, right? So anyone can join and have their donations go towards that group if you want to have your name there for whatever reason. And you should. But all the links to all of our pages, which is, I guess, the full cast, then we'll get started with the show. The 3 DMs are Adam, Neil, and Steven, of course. And then the players are Ryan, Stephanie, Wheat, myself, Stephanie being Miss Harvey from Misclicks, Jeff, Co-Carnage, who is a Twitch streamer here and was also in a one-shot, if you guys know who that is. Maggie, Jen, Anna. I don't know why I didn't put Anna and Jeff together. I feel like that would have been good.
I've seen that.
Anyways, Caitlin, and then that's it. So we'll have 3 3-hour sessions on the 24th. More information over on the subreddit, as well as links to everyone's page. So,
It's all for kids, guys.
yep.
It's
All
not
the
like-
money
it's
is
not like-
going to charity. It's not like we're fucking pocketing a
Right.
dime. Like, it's 100% for charity. So
Just a good thing to do.
Yep. And there's more information on the website on where that money actually goes to. And I think when everyone signed up, they were able to choose their respective children's hospital that they wanted the money to go to. So that's where you can expect the money to go to. And you can probably see that on the actual page. But anywho, Neil, let's get started. We got 40 minutes till break.
That's what we always do, though.
Yeah.
All right, so where last we left, Leia, the sole remaining survivor of the team, teleported away with Helen and the baby back to Port Tyler. We enter the scene with Leia appearing in the middle of a bedroom, holding on to Helen's hand while Helen has the baby wrapped in her arms. Magic fizzles, the smell of acid fades away, and there's little popping noises coming out of your ear. Your hair's still standing on end a little bit. You breathe like a big sigh of relief as you realize you are safe and not embedded in any objects.
Looks like we did it. I guess we're gonna wait for Victorian to show up, huh? No reply
can
from
we-
Helen? Helen doesn't reply to me ever. No.
Helen looks at you and says, I don't know. You're the one in charge. You make the decisions.
Alright, let's wait a little bit. Then let's fast forward like an hour.
Okay. 20 minutes pass. No one's come near the bedroom. Apparently no one heard you. No one's seen you. You guys have been hanging out 20, 30 minutes. An hour passes.
Yeah.
You're hanging out on the bed, just chilling. No one's around.
Go on.
The two of you
Alright.
turn towards each other, boredom in your eyes. Slowly, Helen leans down on the bed and says, "So, what do you want to do while we wait for Victorian?" Playing with her hair in one finger. Her blouse falls to the side slightly.
Go on.
I stare at her, confused.
Why is her clothes so loose?
What's going on with your hair? All right. So at some point, I'm just gonna get bored of it, and I'll be like, "All right, I think we should leave now." I mean, apparently he won't show up. I don't know what's up with that. Let's
She
just
nods.
resume. Let's just
you
resume
think-
the mission.
Do you think he's dead? She asks.
I mean, if he wasn't, he would probably have used the teleportation ring. I don't know what's wrong with him. I mean, I'll try to track him down at some point, see if he's still alive. Probably have some item I can look through to see if he's alive, but I think we should move on. Let's just
Okay.
try to get out of this area. This might get weird, but I guess we gotta do what we gotta do, right?
All right.
Open
So you guys proceed to leave this room. Now, this room didn't have any windows to the outside. It was lit pretty much only by the light coming from underneath the door, so it was kind of dark in here this whole time, but it didn't matter. You were just waiting anyway. As you exit this room, you enter into a hallway where you can see outside. You know the room you're in. This is the room that was opposite the daughter's room in the hallway. So you open the door. You see the daughter's room directly in front of you. You look down the hallway to your right. There's a window. It is definitely dark outside. You know, it was evening when you guys were battling before, so an hour later it is nighttime. And there's no one around.
we exit the castle, or whatever you want to call it, manor.
You exit the manor. As you come down the steps, you see a serving girl carrying some dishes across the foyer. Who gives you kind of a smile and a nod.
I give her a nod
but-
and I keep going. Like
Okay.
it's nothing.
Get to the front door, open it. There's 2 guards on the outside. They, stand to attention and let you pass.
I say good evening or whatever time of day it is, and I just walk out with Helen. I was gonna say Carla.
No, 2 of you walk out. No one bothers you.
All right. So we're in Port Tyler, correct?
hmm
Okay. So, I'm gonna use astrology,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to see where I should be headed with the baby.
Give me a specific question.
In which location will the baby be safe?
East.
East.
Fuck. Sorry.
What? Is the Longboard Kingdom in the east?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. That sounds about right. I feel happier now. And I'm gonna be headed to Fort Skra. So I'm gonna go get a horse.
Okay. You walk through the town. You see a couple of horses tied up at some stables.
I'm gonna...
Various establishments.
Shit. I can't buy 2. This is expensive as fuck. Is it nighttime or is it daytime?
It is evening, nighttime. The sun is down.
Are there
Streets
people
are lit by
around?
torches. There are a few people throughout the town. It seems kind of like a quiet night. There's a soft drizzle of rain, so most people are staying indoors.
I'm gonna walk. Are there like 2 horses outside, or how does it work?
Well, like as you're walking down the street, you come to a tavern, and outside the tavern is like this very rudimentary stable, and there's like 4 horses tied up at the stable. They belong to other people, but there's no one actually actively watching them because if you steal a horse, usually the penalty for stealing horses is death. So.
All right, so I'm just gonna take a horse and hop on it with Carla and leave.
All right, you walk up, hop on a horse.
Super
Carl hops on
confident.
pulls up beside you, goes, "This isn't our horse. We're stealing."
It's okay. We're on a mission here.
She doesn't complain, and you guys start to head off. As you do, you hear someone coming out of the inn behind you, going, "Hey, it's my horse!
I just
What
keep
the
going.
hell?" But you
Oh.
gallop off down the road, going clock, clock,
Yeah.
clock, 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 until you make it to you're headed to Fort Skajra?
Yeah.
So you head to the north gate of town then.
Yeah, but before that, I will have to stop and I'm gonna dismount the horse with
Mhm.
Carla, and I'm gonna tell her that I have consulted with the stars, and they tell me that if you follow me, you're gonna die. So I'm gonna have to leave you behind here. I'm gonna have to take it from here with the baby.
Are you sure?
Yes, I don't want you to die, and I can continue. This
She breathes like this big sigh of relief and just hands the baby over to you and goes, I didn't want to say anything, but after watching Victarion die and Zanzil die and what's his name, the other guy die, and Reptar and Sir Hodrick die, I this is more than I can handle, so I'm happy for you to take this burden from me. I actually really liked Port Tyler. I was sad for us to leave.
All right. Do you have enough money to survive, or are you gonna be okay? Didn't they give her
Reaches
like
into her pocket, goes, I have a lot of gold. I'll be okay.
All right, perfect. I hug her goodbye. I thank her. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. You've been great. Hopefully, we're gonna save the world now.
She smiles and waves at you, and then goes and finds some shelter.
All right. So I say her goodbye, and I'm gonna take off on my horse to Fort Shaw.
Okay.
Neal,
it is
what was
nighttime and it is drizzling.
Where does
You
that
head
name
out.
come from, Neal? Fort Shkza? Where's that come from? What was the inspiration behind the town name when he created it?
If you take a look at the map, that entire area is kind of Nordic naming, and so it's Nordic in inspiration.
Okay. I mean, I just figured that Lake Tasia and Port Tyler had, I don't know, maybe like ska music, but he didn't want to name it Port Ska, so he put the...
Well,
J.
no, so when I was making the map from the south, I was adding those, and then later I was making the map from the north, and two map sections connected, and that whole upper region beyond that was controlled by a different family, while the family around Lake Lake Tasia was controlled by a different house previously. So all the names are kind of reflective of their foundings.
Gotcha.
Boom.
Understood.
Lawyered.
I mean, not
This is a-
really, but
Oh.
okay.
Brave new world you've given me.
As she leaves, can I just tell her that if she sees Victarion, to just point him in my direction?
Which direction is that?
Oh my god.
For now, it's gonna be Fort Xia, and eventually it's gonna be the Longboard Kingdom.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for him. And
Sure.
she waves goodbye. You see down the street the guy whose horse you stole is still chasing after you and starting to get a little bit closer.
All right. Does he have a horse? No.
No, he's just on foot. He's running. You know,
Oh,
you
okay.
stopped, dismounted, and talked to her for like 5 minutes, and so he's managing to catch up.
I'm gonna take off with my horse.
Okay. You take off and go down the street. You get to the city gates, and the two guards there look up to see you, and they start to say what you presume to be like, the gates are closed for the night, don't come in, but they get to, the gates are... Open the gates! Open the gates! And
Good evening, gentlemen.
they quickly open the gates, and everyone, like, if they're not actively pulling the gate open, they get the fuck out of their way. You seem to be highly recognized, and you would guess fear, maybe fear is not the right word, unbridled terror is captured in their eyes as they see you.
I give them a wink.
They shit their pants, basically, and open the doors for you, and you take off into the night.
Yeah.
The rain starts to come down a little bit harder as you travel north to Fort Shka.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna be looking for the officer in charge.
okay, I mean, it's about a day away. Are you traveling all through the night? Are you going to sleep and then travel?
Well, I'm not at the fort yet.
No. The fort is like a day away. It's going to take you a little while to get there. Just a little while.
Is this a place where people sleep? Like, what is this?
I mean, at the side of the road, basically. You're traveling down a road at night that's, a few miles long.
Could I just sleep there, like around them, like?
Sure. I mean, you've slept on the side of the road before. I just didn't know if you were going to try and approach the fort during the night or if you want to approach during the day.
During the day.
Okay, so you travel for a little ways, sit down to rest. The rain picks up a little bit, and you have a hard time sleeping, but you manage to keep the baby safe and warm by pulling your cloak over it and gathering some stuff around. You don't risk a fire for fear of detection. But the night passes more or less uneventfully, and the rain only gets worse and worse. So as morning comes, you travel down the road. Your horse is sopping wet. You're soaking wet, but you've managed to keep the baby as warm as possible. There's still some water dripping on his face every now and then. And 6 hours later, after just a miserable night and a horrible morning riding, you come to the front gates of Fort Ska.
All right. And then, are there officers at the entrance?
There are a couple of guards standing out front. There's a little ledge, wooden ledges built out front so they can stand without being soaking wet. They see you approaching. The gates are shut, and they look up to you and say, "What is your business?"
I want to talk to the officer in charge.
Captain Glass? What's your business with him?
Yes. I show them the paper.
Okay, they
Good.
look over it, fold it, hand it back to you, and say, "You know she's dead now, right?"
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Okay. They, pound on the gates, and the gates open, and you guys ride in.
Alright.
You have never been to Fort Ska before, but you're familiar with a lot of Verosi's surroundings. You said you wanted to speak to the captain in charge, the person in charge?
Yeah.
Captain Glass? Okay. So, you stable your horse and ask around. I mean, you're surrounded by Verosi soldiers, but you ask where Captain Glass would be, and you're pointed to a large 4-story stone building in the center of the keep. You head over there.
Alright, so I head there. I look very confident, not shaken at all. And I just go there, looking for Captain Glass.
Okay. You get to the front. There's some guards there. They ask you your business. You say you're looking for Captain Glass.
Show them the
They
paper.
show them your paper, and within 20 minutes, you are sitting in his offices. Someone brings you a towel and a fresh change of clothes if you want it.
I take it.
You are still barefoot, by the way.
Oh, did we prove that I never had my boots back?
Until you prove that you have your boots back, you do not have your boots back.
Okay, hold on. So
Did you find it?
I made a request in chat, and somebody says that it is in episode 3 of this week's VOD. I've asked them to message me, but if somebody would go through and find the point in episode 3 where I gave the boots back, I'm positive I did it, but Neal wants proof. So
Oh no, I
not-
remember that as well.
When did he give the boots back?
When he came back upstairs, he was like, "I give
But
the
he
boots
didn't come back upstairs. He went out to the stables.
Oh, it was when he was changing his armor off because he took all his armor
Correct.
off, and he was
Right,
like, "Yeah,
but-
I put all my armor back on and I give Leia back the boots." I do remember
Right.
that. Well,
the
we
part-
can have someone confirm it in the VOD rather than just going
I
back
thought
and
the
forth.
party hat wasn't there yet, though. The party was upstairs still, right?
It's okay, Neil. I lost the ring of teleportation. We're good.
well, if somebody messaged me on Twitch the part in the VOD, then I'll just show Neal during the break.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm not barefoot. Sorry,
Okay.
Neil.
You have shoes then. Damn
But
it.
you are pregnant, and I made sure of that.
Okay.
I wait for the guy to show up.
Yeah, so eventually Captain Glass shows up, and he looks you up and down, sees you holding a baby in one arm, and goes, "Why are you bringing me an infant?"
I got the infant of the prophecy. I did it.
What?
That was my mission.
He comes over and looks at the baby's arm and goes, Who are you?"
I'm Leia. I was with Lady Felicity. Sadly, she got killed. But I need
Didn't
to
you
head.
kill her? Aren't you responsible for her death? There is a warrant
It
out
was-
for your head.
It was part of my way to get the baby. I needed to gain the trust of the party. That was the only way. I'm not strong enough to take them on. They had a fierce, fierce warrior.
He takes a few steps back and crosses his arms, nods approvingly.
I
Well,
need to
See
be
why she
taken.
trusted you so much.
Hmm?
I see why she trusted you then.
Yes, the mission before anything else. I nod.
Well, what can I do for you? Felicity is now dead, and
I'm-
no one has taken her place.
I need to be taken directly to General Kelborn.
General Kelborn. All right. I'll find a wizard to get you there. Just hang tight for a minute. And he departs the room, yells for some people, and half an hour later, you're dry and in some new clothing. And a wizard approaches. He's kind of a youngish-looking man, maybe 34 years old, short black hair. He's kind of got like even though he looks like 34, he kind of looks like JP. You know, you've got the beard, but the face doesn't look quite 30-ish, but the beard makes him look old. You know how JP looks like he's about 50, but in reality he's only like 28 or 29? That sort of thing going on. Yeah. And the wizard kind of comes over to you. Is there anything else you want to do here before they just teleport you away? Else you want to ask anyone? Anything else you want to do?
I don't think so. I mean, if you guys have any spare spell books, I would surely take some. Or useful scrolls.
Did you say squirrels?
Scrolls.
I thought you said useful squirrels. I was like, I want one, Neil.
Total
Have a
here.
useful
Actually,
squirrel.
Jeff, total side story here regarding squirrels. They might actually be gophers. I'm not sure. Did you know the strongest beer in the world in terms of alcohol content is called The End of History, and the bottle comes inside of a tax. What is the act of taxidermy? It's a taxidermy. It's a stuffed squirrel. The bottle comes inside of the stuffed squirrel, and you drink by holding the squirrel, and it's 50%
amazing.
alcohol beer. Anyways,
That is amazing.
I found that out.
Beer of history?
Yeah, it's the strongest alcoholic beer you can get. It's called The End of History, I think. Tyler was telling me about that. Anyways, please continue.
You're gonna die if you drink that. That's a lot of
It's
alcohol.
$750 for one bottle as well.
Oh my
Pricey.
god.
Anyways, I don't know why I brought that up, but you mentioned squirrel.
I appreciate it.
Anyway, you asked for some scrolls. The chef in front of you, who identifies himself as Seraph, smiles and pulls out 3 scrolls from a hidden compartment within his robes and hands them to you.
Which are these?
Look at them later, he says.
Okay, so I'll just write 3 scrolls
3 scrolls.
of question mark. Alright, thank you.
Yep. So he puts his hand on your shoulder and closes his eyes and starts murmuring arcane words. And again, you feel that familiar kind of staticky feeling. Then you hear the pops in your ears and that harsh acidic smell. And there's bright light for a moment, and all of a sudden you find yourself stationed in another building. The sound of rain is gone, and you are kind of at the floor in a stone room. There is a circle surrounding you guys on the ground, inlaid with silver and gold, it looks to be, and also it's either ivory or crushed bone or maybe some crushed seashells or something, but some sort of white crushed substance in the rings on the floor.
From what I know, what can I tell from this situation?
This is
Is
some
it
sort of
there-
magic circle for casting shit. You don't know what exactly.
Okay.
The man kind of takes a big sigh, looks around, shakes it off, and leans over to you and whispers in your ear, "Hurry, they'll be on you soon." Takes a few steps back into the circle and starts chanting.
I wave goodbye.
He vanishes.
Alright, so
The door opens and someone comes in and says, "What? Who are you?"
I'm Leia.
Excellent.
I-
What are you doing, Leia? We
I'm
we don't have a scheduled transport anytime soon.
When's the next transport?
Well, there's not supposed to be one for another day, but what are you doing here? What's the emergency? Why are you here?
I'm here to see General Kelborn.
All right, follow me. He walks out the door, and you notice the door kind of opens up, and there's a big set of double doors on your right side that would look like an entrance or an exit, and then he just kind of walks across that up to a staircase that goes up.
I
What do you
follow.
do? You follow him?
Well, wait, where am I? I'm really confused.
You are in a building. You're not sure where you're. You've been teleported to General Kelborn, more or less, but you're in some sort of building.
All right. I guess I'll follow him. Wait. What's what's around me right now?
So you're inside a castle. What it looks like. It's a large stone building. As you start to walk towards him, he's going up this set of stairs. You look to your left, and there's this big. It's not quite the Great Hall, but it's like a very large foyer, a big entrance room. You notice that the two guards on the door by the front look like castle guards. You can see down the foyer. There's another set of double doors that open up into a long hall that is more or less empty right now. But at the back of it, you see a round table with a large chair at the back of it, kind of seat on the far side. And there's a lot of people coming and going, even though it's still dark out. You know, the gates are closed, but there's no light coming through, and there's a lot of torches lit everywhere. So you get the impression that you are in some sort of castle or keep right now.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna head for. I will start following him, but then I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna try to head outside. But like I'm not saying anything. I'm just starting to walk as if nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Like.
So he leads the way and starts walking up some stairs. You take a few steps after him, stop, and then where'd you go?
I'm trying to head for outside, like the.
Okay. He's going upstairs. You turn and just kind of open the doors. The guards,
Yeah.
be at the door, and you step outside. Baby cradled in one arm, cloak dangling over it, opening a door here, just kind of whoop, stepping outside. It is dark out. No, it is light out. There is no rain. It's not super light. It's cloudy, very, very overcast, but it's still daytime. And you're in a courtyard of a fairly sizable castle, it seems. Let me look at the castle. The courtyard's filled with men who are drilling. There's a set of stables that has like 70 or 80 horses in it. There's some people having archery practice. There's people, wielding spears and battling each other. Just a lot of people standing about. As you push through the doors and kind of step outside, there's footsteps from behind you. The guy saying, "No, he's up here, miss."
I start running
Where do you run?
towards the exit of the castle gate.
Okay, you start running across the open grounds of the castle towards the gate. Take off. You get to the gate. This guy's following you. He's like, "Miss, you're going the..." God. He puts his hand on his forehead and starts jogging after you. You get to the front gate, and there's a couple of guards there standing, looking a little bit confused. And one of them goes...
I show them the Felicity note, and I'm like, "Sorry, I'm in a rush. Got a mission here."
He folds back and says, "You can have any of the horses. Any will of Lady Felicity is the will of the gods."
Yeah. So I grab a horse and I try to get out of view ASAP.
You hop on the horse. By the time you get on the horse, the other guy comes up to you and says, "Lord Kelborn's upstairs. He's already come back here."
I'll be right back. I just got a message. I'll be right back.
Who should I say came for him?
Leia.
He starts to walk, and then he turns back and goes, "The Leia?"
I'm like leaving.
Okay. I guess you don't look over your shoulder, so you fucking take off.
Yeah. And as soon as I'm out of vision, I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and the baby. And I'm gonna ditch the horse.
Okay. You and the child you have two invisibilities?
Yes.
Okay, you and the child are invisible. You are outside of a keep. You're not sure exactly where it is, but you do see the telltale signs of the Great River in front of you. It's a little ways away, but it's pretty obvious. This river is miles and miles across. And it is infamous for the forests and the towns alongside of it, except the forests and the towns alongside this river are destroyed. The woods are burned and hacked to pieces. Most of the trees have been ripped apart. The ground has been scorched everywhere. All the earth is blackened and hardened. The area, it's hard to tell where the road stops and the ground even begins because of the amount of damage that's been done here. But you are on a road headed, judging by the position of the sun in the sky, east.
Okay. I'll continue east for now.
Okay.
Until whatever.
Okay. You head east, and after about a day of trudging invisibly through this ashy, ruined landscape, you come to another keep. This keep is situated. Well, you know about this area. You've never been here before, but as a member of Felicity's troop and as someone who's been fighting this war for a long time, you know that you recognize this area. This is the great bridge that spans the river. On one side is Verasi forces, or are Verasi forces. On the other side are the allied forces of the Longborn Kingdom, the Dwarven Kingdom to the north, and another kingdom to the east, whose name you're not quite sure of. You recognize the keep in front of you as Yilkvad Keep,
Mhm.
which guards the bridge between the two sides, which is the only bridge left between the two sides. All of the bridges across this river have been destroyed.
Okay, so
Um,
I'm gonna start heading on the bridge.
Well-
while invis.
Okay, as you walk,
To the Longboard Kingdom.
as you
by the way.
approach the castle, once you get within like 100 feet of the castle, your invisibility just vanishes. You become visible instantly. You're
Right now.
walking. All of a sudden, you feel this tingling sensation in your skin, and you look at your hands, and you can see your hands, and you can see the child.
I gasp, and I start running.
Okay, you get to the keep. This is the back of the keep, and you don't actually notice a lot of guards here. There's one guy who's standing by the door. It is an orc with big, ugly tusks. He's got a two-handed axe. He's resting over one shoulder. Heavy armor that's a combination of ring mail and scale mail. And you can smell his breath from about 15 feet away. He grunts at you and goes to block your way and says, "Ugh! There ain't no place for whores over here. Get back to Ottoman."
I'm not a whore. What's wrong with you? Neil, am I with, like, is he Verasi or is he Longboard?
Oh, he's super Verasi. Yeah, there's no orcs on the Longborn side. Yeah.
Okay.
He squints his piggish eyes at you and glares. Says, "If you're not a whore, what are you doing here?"
I have to go through. Move away. I'm on a mission here. I show him the paper.
He doesn't even look at it. He just kind of takes it, crumples it up, and drops it in the ground.
What is wrong with you? This is from Lady Felicity. You should be ashamed of yourself.
He stops grunting and stops kind of glaring at you quite so much and steps aside a little bit and growls, "Felicity's dead."
This doesn't mean that I'm not relevant anymore. Move over.
He grunts, takes like a step 2 inches to the side, just enough that like he's letting you pass, like, you know, just enough to show that he's going to let you pass, but still trying to block your way and be a jackass about it. And you walk past him into Yilvad Keep.
Yep.
This is one of those weird cities that's been designed specifically for war. You notice that the walls that you entered through are normal walls, normal castle walls, but the walls in front of you are super thick. The parapets are much taller than normal, and the balcony, the platform behind them is stone, not wood. There are catapults and ballistas and all sorts of siege weapons all over this place. And you see straight through in front of you, there is it's basically just an open clearing ground towards where there's this portcullis, which are those like iron bars with spikes at the end that kind of block a castle gate. And you can see all the way across to that, through those onto what seems to be a glittering golden bridge that just covers the distance across the river. This bridge has got to be 5 miles long. It looks to be made of pure gold or some sort of golden material, and it just spans the entire distance. There's no railings, there's nothing. It's just a flat span of gold that goes for miles in front of you.
I pick up the paper and I keep moving.
Okay. You keep moving through. There, you see wizards, you see priests, you see soldiers, you see orcs, you see trolls, ogres, bugbears. Any type of imaginable evil foe is surrounding you. There's all sorts of nasty, brutish beasts everywhere. What do you do?
I keep walking like it's normal.
Okay. You have some people jostle you, kind of like bump into you intentionally and give you shit, but you get to the other side of the bridge where this side is covered in soldiers. There's like a row of 20 or 30 archers up top. There's a bunch of ballistas, and there's some soldiers with pikes standing in front of the bridge. The portcullis is currently down, but you notice that one of them is standing next to, excuse me, the mechanism that opens and that raises and lowers the portcullis.
Yeah, I'm acting like everything's normal, fine, confident.
All right. You approach the gate, and the guards look at you kind of suspiciously. It's unusual, it seems, for a woman to walk up to these soldiers. They're both human. The one on the right, which is the one next to the mechanism that opens and lowers the portcullis, says, "What are you doing here?"
Move over! I am here on a mission. Here's my paper. Sorry it has been, whatever, crumpled.
He looks at it, hands it back to you, and says, "You know it's suicide to walk across that bridge, right?"
Yes, but I have been sent and I am on a mission and I have to do this right now. So please open the gates for me.
All right. He pulls on this lever, and you hear the sounds of whips and a bell going off. And you look over to your right, and you see that there are two trolls who are pulling on this chain. And the chain goes into the wall, and then as the trolls are pulling, the portcullis starts to raise. These trolls are like 10 feet tall each, and probably weigh like 600 or 700 pounds. They're huge creatures. But they are opening the portcullis. You that this portcullis must be made of lead or something even heavier in order to be this heavy that you need two trolls to open it. But that's what it is.
I go through confident. Keep going.
Okay. As you actually walk through, there are some shouts from back within the keep, and there is a very tall man that starts approaching you on horseback. He is he's a little over 6 feet tall, probably 250 pounds. You know what? He's almost 6.5 feet tall, like 280 pounds, 60 pounds, 250 pounds. Big fucking guy, plate mail, and he's got a warhammer made of some black metal kind of hanging from his side. And he barks at you, "Hey there, what are you doing?"
I'm on a mission! Don't follow me, it's dangerous! I keep walking.
"I'm the commander of this
Fast-paced.
keep, and no one crosses this bridge without my permission. Stop!"
I
Stop.
start running.
You start running? Okay. He yells at the archers to commence firing at you. What is your armor class?
10.
10?
Yes, but with a
Okay.
baby on her back, it gets bumped up to 14, I think.
Alright, cool. Yeah. So you start fucking running across this bridge as fast as possible. And the archers turn and fire some shots. One of them crits you.
Holy shit.
Give me a saving throw versus death. Oh, God. I should get in roll 20. You take 9 damage from the crit.
She rolled a 3 on the save.
She rolled a 3?
Yep.
Okay.
What's your max?
Severity.
She has 10 max
She's
HP,
got
right?
one left.
Is it
No,
still
I got
10?
11. 11.
Oh, it's 11?
Severity is 2, so no effect. Nice penis. This isn't my cock.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa.
I'm not. I don't know what you're talking. Neil, that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
on screen. That's not on screen.
I just
That's
want
not
to say
on
something.
screen.
Can I interject here real
We're
quick?
back!
Last week I drew a penis, but I changed the color to JP's color and framed him, and Neil thought it was JP. And you go, "JP, I know it's you. It was in your color," and I was just laughing to myself. It was great.
Well done. Well done, Ryan.
True Battle Royale style.
Yep.
All right, so you take 9. An arrow hits you in the back of the leg. It rolls a 2 on the severity, so it doesn't actually do anything. And you are just coming across this bridge. The roll for initiative.
5.
5.
Okay, you go first. You are running across a bridge. What is your movement speed? You're elf, right? So your movement speed's
Yeah.
12. Are you encumbered at all?
No.
No, even with like a 5-pound baby.
Equipment total weight. I got 20 pounds of equipment. So no. That's
Okay.
base.
Sweet. So, if you are running at movement speed 12, that's 120 yards. If you walk that distance, if you jog it, it's 240 yards.
Dead sprint, so something like 7 miles, I think is what it is.
So you just bolt out of there. You get before them, so you can actually get a really good distance on them. They are at long range, which is -5 to hit, which is not a pleasant thing to have.
I'm sure you'll find a
2
20 in there. something else.
HP.
Let's see.
Okay,
Miss,
11
miss, 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 miss. Miss, 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 miss. Hit. Miss, 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 miss. And wouldn't you know it, 1 damage from another arrow as it dings you in the shoulder, and you just fucking sprinting down the bridge as fast as you can. You look back and you see that the portcullis has started to lower, but now there's the guy who's standing in front of it, like banging on the iron bars with his warhammer, yelling at people. And you're out of range of the arrows now. Because, well, next round, actually, roll for initiative. Maybe they get another shot before you get to go.
I got 1 HP. 4.
You just beat them. They rolled a 5. So you make it. You keep running across the bridge. And it takes a few minutes before they get their shit together to open the gate and start sending riders after you. But by this point, you see riders on the other side coming towards you. Because, you're all considered basically Olympic athletes in terms of movement. So if you've been running for 4 minutes, you're almost a mile down the bridge, which is kind of broken, but that's the system we've been using for years. So you're about a third of the way down the bridge, and you see a set of horsemen from the Longbourn side riding towards you, and a set of horsemen from the Verasi side riding towards you. What are you doing, Jen?
I scream, "Help me! I'm coming with the baby!"
There's no ambulance nearby, though.
I'm running. I'm just booking it. I don't stop.
You don't stop? You just run?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff, would you like to roll initiative?
Yes, I would.
You kill Leo.
4 against their 8. So you and your horsemen approach this woman on a bridge. She's an elf wearing Verasi clothing with a bundle under her left arm, kind of like a football, one arm in front ready to block any tackles. And behind them are a dozen or so people on horseback charging across the bridge. You've been fighting this war for a long time. You've been fighting at this bridge for a long time. It is well known that the entire bridge, which was magical in creation, has 0 supports underneath of it. Also has a pretty strong anti-magic aura around it. Spells do not work on this bridge. In fact, spells haven't really worked too well in a long time. Both sides of this river are lined with anti-invisibility wards and barriers. And just it's been a nasty, grueling fight. But when you guys saw this woman, a woman of all people, running across the bridge, which is supposed to be like the no man's land, your commanding officer told you to ride out there and figure out what the shit's going on. So you get first. You're approaching, and you get to her just before, no, I shouldn't say just before, but you and your 6 horsemen get to her before the other side does. What do you do?
Regarding the situation, as you said, I've been on the front lines for a long time now. Seasoned veteran of the front lines. I reach down my bandaged and priestly hands, and I say, "Woman, if you want to live, you'll come with me."
I follow him.
No, I rip you up on top of the horse, and then turn around and say, "Boys, make sure they don't get near us. and then I ride as fast as I can towards the Longborn side.
Okay. You take off. Your men stay behind to fight, and there's a clash of arms, sounds of battle going off behind you. But you manage to take this woman who you've never seen before in your life, this elf who's coming from Verossi territory, which is fucked up because there's no elves over there. They've all been put to death. And you bring her back to your side of the river at Mezenga.
As we're riding, by the way, I kind of yell over my shoulder, like, "If you cut me, I swear to everything good, I'll make sure your head's one level lower." And then we just
What?
keep riding. There's going to be a lot of that, Jen. You won't understand a lot of what I'm saying. To describe my character, he has a buzzed head. I added one thing, Neil. He's got an eye patch over his left eye, a black eye patch. Grizzly guy, covered in scars. His one eye that you can see is blue. Blonde hair, of course. He's about 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, kind of wiry muscle. And he's, like I said, 35 years old. He's an older guy. Well, a little bit older, I guess, given the times. Buzzed head. And he carries a big axe on his back. And he's decked out. He's wearing three-quarter plate. It's all dinged and donked. It's not pretty. I have not rolled for hotness. Should we do that live?
I
Sure.
think so.
I think so,
we
yeah.
all should.
Yeah.
What is that?
We'll do it as the
four-
characters are introduced.
What is this
4D
green
61.
worm-like creature on the map?
What'd you say, Neil? 3d6?
4d61.
4d61. Holy
Oh my god.
17 hotness.
Got
Jeff finally got
It
it.
happened!
As we gallop towards there, I hold on to him tightly.
Yeah. He's apparently
He smells
really
good.
fucking good looking. But yeah, just kind of chiseled features. Very, not a super big guy. Yeah.
You said your head is buzzed?
Buzzed hair. Yeah.
Right. Is it like are you a ginger? Because I hear the accent. Are you like the one
No.
attractive ginger male in the world?
No, I'm human, by the way, too. People
Shots
thought I was
fired.
dwarf. No, I'm human.
Shots fired for sure.
They don't have, like electric razors, obviously, back then. So it's just
Right.
very short with a blade. I'm not bald, but it's as buzz low as it gets.
Cool.
Yeah, I hold on to him good.
And we arrive at our first break.
Cool. Sounds good. We'll take a quick 3-minute break. We'll get right back into it. Still 3 hours to go here on week, not episode. Should we just start calling them? Nope, I'm not renaming the YouTube mods. We'll be back with more Week 31 right after this. RollPlay Solum coming up. We'll see you guys then.